we definitely had one come up to us and just be like, "Come on, guys, come to the show." Blah 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 blah. And one of my friends is like,
Guys.
"We all like guys."
I'm intrigued.
And and he sits there and goes, well, "I've got some of those too."
It's like a sampler platter and an appetizer.
Yeah, he's like, is this like some staff members that you're like, get out there and sex up those men?
Welcome back.
Hey, Beardos.
Hello.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Beards and Sundries.
That's right, guys. It's time for another lunch break here at Beards and Sundries, the shop where three gay men with beards do inventory on a new sundry each episode.
And we're glad you made it back. I'm Jay, and I'm that last drink you shouldn't order that you know is going to make you throw up later.
And I'm Anthony, and what happens in me stays in me.
And I'm Joe, the 1995 Dodge Spirit that's been sitting in that far corner of the casino parking lot for God knows how long. And if you haven't guessed, today's sundry is Vegas. Las Vegas, baby.
Well, Joe, tell me, what's a sundry?
Well, Beardos, if you're new to our show and you're just wondering what the hell a sundry is, the term comes from an old English word meaning odds and ends. Today, it's used mainly in retail as a way to group together items that otherwise wouldn't have a group of their own. So, as three gay men with beards, we are using the term to group together the wide range of topics that we cover.
Viva Las Vegas! I'm so excited. I just got back. Literally 3 days ago.
That's right, Jay. You just got back from Las Vegas. How was it?
Well, so I'm lame, and it was my very first time to go, and honestly, I had a blast. A blast.
I gotta say, Vegas in your 30s. How'd you handle
I
it?
didn't realize that was your first time. Okay.
Yeah, it was my first time. So when I travel, I want to relax. I don't like constant go, 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 because I want a break. But this time I went with a group of friends that was meeting another group of friends that ended up, I think it was supposed to be like 21 people altogether. And due to some flight issues and all, it kind of landed down into 14, which is still quite a group. But it was for someone's birthday and absolute blast. I had so much fun. But the only problem is I think from Thursday morning when we boarded the plane until Thursday when we boarded the plane, I was just constantly drunk.
Yes. Good. That's how you should be in Vegas.
That's exactly what being in Vegas is like. Yes.
So were there any other gays, or were you the token gay?
Oh, no, I'd say it was a good half, if not a little more than half gay.
I was going to say, with like 20 people, statistically speaking.
Now, I was the only single gay there. Literally everyone else was with their spouse and partner, or they are in a relationship and one was home. But
so you got passed around like a blackjack token.
Yeah, that's all. That's why I don't remember Vegas, because I was knocked out.
Knocked up. So I see why you're recovering today.
Oh my gosh, guys. I hope to God that they'll sponsor us soon, because I used Liquid IV on that trip. Amazing stuff. Because without that, I don't think me or one of my friends would have made it, because I didn't wake up with a single hangover. Next morning was just like, this is great. Let's go. Would open a drink at like 9 a.m. Be like, let's go.
Yeah. We sell it at my actual job, and it sells like crazy. Yeah,
Vegas is sort of like an airport in that there are no rules about drinking in Vegas. 7 a.m., have a warm beer.
4 a.m.?
I mean, we literally at 7 a.m., the day that we were supposed to board the plane, we had some drinks that we, bought early, and they were in our room, and I was like, well, so we had like Trulies, and we're like,
I can only imagine what the McCarran Airport is like for departing flights from Vegas. Just everyone just probably looks like hell.
Well, thanks to Liquid IV, we looked fantastic.
Shut up. Well, that kind of ropes us into our first topic, which I was going to do getting there. So you flew. Anthony's been twice. I've been once with Anthony.
Times.
You've been three times.
That was my third time, yeah.
We've driven. And
I've driven every time I've gone.
Tell us about the time you drove, and you drove straight through in your new car.
Oh, God. So I can't remember what year this was. I'm thinking it was 2010. I went with a couple of my friends. I literally drove up to Kansas City, I think is where I bought that car? Question mark. And I bought a 2006 Lincoln Zephyr, the only model year they called it the Zephyr.
I remember that car.
I love that car. It was a good car.
It was a beast.
Yeah, that thing could get through, like, it was the only car I think I've ever owned that got through snow and ice without any sort of issue. And so I bought it and then literally drove home. We packed up our bags in the car without going to sleep, and we headed to Vegas. And we drove straight through. So we didn't stop anywhere. We drank a bunch of energy drinks and a bunch of like 5-hour energies. I cannot imagine, looking back on that now, how that car must have smelled by the time we made it there.
Weren't you like covered in sweat too?
Well, yeah, because I don't know if this happens to anybody else, but when I travel over, like if I'm flying or if I'm driving long periods, my body excretes everything. Like I sweat more, I get oilier.
I get that when I fly.
I was like, I get oily for sure.
Yeah. And so that was a definite, like, driving 8 hours back and forth to get the car, and then like driving to Vegas, which was a solid 18 hours. And we got stuck right before the Hoover Dam driving in because they were doing construction on that bridge.
Oh yeah, no. That's right. That's when that was happening.
Mm-hmm. They rerouted all of the traffic through the Hoover Dam. So
oh my God,
every car going through that area had to go through the security checkpoint to get into the Hoover Dam.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was insane.
Well, just FYI from Tulsa, because I actually flew out of Tulsa. It's a 2.5-hour flight, and I had a mimosa.
The second time we went with more people, so we took 2 vehicles. But we drove straight through that time as well. I don't think we stopped. And that was...
Oh, God.
That was an interesting trip. It was fine. And then this last time, it was Joe and I and 2 of our friends. And that was the year that I proposed. So we stopped at the Grand Canyon.
Grand Canyon.
It was really funny because I bought this book that has like all these little things. And at the very end of the book, it says, it asks, will you marry me? And one of our friends who was with us, one of them was recording it, and the other one, you can hear him on the recording, like right before I'm like getting down on my knee to propose. He goes, "This is a long book."
Because it was cold outside.
He had no idea what was happening.
Meanwhile, I was like going through the book. I was like, I know what's happening. I'm reading the book because we're recording and I'm making a good video.
Yep, he did. Yeah, we all knew except for our one friend. He was the only person who was unaware of what was happening.
God love him.
Yeah, but then we got to Vegas and we were there for a couple of days and it was like...
We stayed at the Luxor, which...
I was just about to say, where'd you guys stay?
That brings us to my next topic I have for us, which is the iconic Luxor Casino and Hotel. It's very unique in that it's the one that's shaped like a pyramid, right? Fun fact, this is actually the largest atrium in the world in terms of square feet. I believe it's 29.2 million.
Interesting.
Almost the size of Jay's asshole.
That's 20. It's under 20.
It actually has the largest atrium in the world. So an atrium is like a area inside of a building that's open and only lit by like a skylight, but it's mainly like a closed outdoor area inside. The Luxor has the world's largest atrium by volume at 29 million cubic feet.
Did you just define the word atrium for our listeners? As though they would not know what the word atrium meant?
Yeah.
Okay. Listeners, get in the comments.
Anthony, we have listeners in different countries. Maybe they don't use that same word.
They got Google.
The Luxor is also home to the Blue Man Group. So if you want to see them, that's where they are.
They used to have Carrot Top at the Luxor.
They still do.
Because do they still have him?
Oh my God, really?
Carrot Top and the Blue Man Group. Also, America's Got Talent. I'm glad we stayed there because it is cool and like iconic and historic. I would never stay there again. Also, due to its architecture being a pyramid, the elevators actually move diagonally up and down the structure at a degree of 39 degrees. So instead of going up and down, they go like this.
I did see that on some TV show once.
It's freaky.
Yeah, it's very concerning.
It's very concerning because you're in there like, am I the last person to ride this?
Where did you stay at, Jay?
So we were in the MGM Signatures Towers, the 3 towers over by MGM's campus.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Okay. Well, that's not too far from the Luxor.
I know. I was sitting there thinking about it, and I'm like, well, Mandalay Bay, I think, was not too far away, but I only saw the Luxor, that's what it's called, I think. I only saw that when we were flying in.
Oh, okay.
I didn't see it after that, because, like, I hopped around and walked by the Bellagio. We went into the Cosmopolitan. We're right across the street from New York, New York. And I briefly stopped in the Flamingo so I could pee.
Oh, wow. You're a real jet setter.
But actually, so we stopped in the Cosmopolitan on one of our walks, and my friend insisted that we all have to go to I think it's the Chandelier Bar. And we ordered this specific drink that you take a sip of it, and for me, it tastes horrible because I'm not a tequila person.
Oh, okay.
And it was just super, like, gross tequila taste. And then there's a flower in it that you take, and you chew it on both sides of your mouth for 5 seconds, and then you can either swallow it or spit it out. And then you take a drink again, and it's super sweet.
Spitters or quitters, Jay.
Spit or swallow.
Spitters or quitters.
But, oh God, but the flower was terrible. But what it does is it makes your mouth tingle, and it almost feels like the idea of, like, TV static in your mouth.
Oh.
And then you take your drink again, and it's super sweet, and it's delicious.
And then you take another drink, and you wake up in a motel bathtub in ice.
I finished the drink and made it home still. Barely.
Sure.
Oh, did you make it out with both of your kidneys?
I think so. If one's failing me, it hasn't done it yet.
Well, it's funny you mentioned the Bellagio and kind of hopping around because my next topic for us is the Strip itself. I really liked it while we were there. We walked up and down it a couple times on both sides, and my God, I mean, aside from it being crowded, which I expected, it was pretty cool. Anthony had warned us before about the card flippers.
I definitely collected my little cards. You got your deck.
I just pretended that they didn't exist.
Oh, I pretended a few, and then, like, I'd grab a few, and my friends would grab a few, and we'd, like, it almost felt like trading Pokemon cards.
So this last time we were there with Joe and our friends, who were also a couple who were gay, we walked by this guy who was a card flicker, and I was ignoring him, but he was really trying. Like, he was putting effort in, so good for him. And he was like, hey, you guys, do you like glittery, sweaty,
Literally
boobs?
sparkly boobs.
And
Oh, it was sweaty?
Like, yeah, he said sweaty. Of all fucking words you could use. And I was like, 4 homosexuals being assaulted by a man who's trying to entice us with glittery, sweaty boobs.
I was like, read the room, my man. Like, no, like,
We definitely had one come up to us and just be like, come on, guys, come to the show, blah, 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 blah. And one of my friends is like,
guys.
we all like guys.
I'm intrigued.
And he sits there and goes, oh, I've got some of those too.
It's like a sampler platter and an appetizer.
Yeah, he's like, is this like some staff members that you're like, get out there and sex up those men?
We saw the fountains at Bellagio. Those were pretty cool. They
those
did.
Are You just don't realize how high those shoot.
Well, are you still talking about the fountains? I also did appreciate the walkways they had over the streets because those streets were busy.
I can't get over how you'll be walking the strip and you'll be like, oh, look, there's the Cosmopolitan. And so you're like, And then like 5 minutes later, you're like, have we gotten any closer?
Yeah.
Like, everything's so fucking far apart, even though it looks so clustered together. What shows did you guys watch when you were in Vegas?
We went to Britney Spears' concert.
What? Okay, well, that's
She was great. She was fantastic.
I actually kind of felt bad because we had a show on our last night there, and it was a Cirque du Soleil show, and it was great. It was called Ka, and it was great, but I don't remember a majority of it because Saturday was a pool day. We'd started drinking at like 9, and we pool drank all day until like
Love it.
an hour before dinner, and then we went to the show, and there's probably 12 of us all lined up in our row, and I mean, you're basically looking around, and you're just seeing several people just kind of like nod off, and I mean, one person's napping, like, we're just drunk tired.
It's like just went somewhere to take a nap.
My favorite part was, I'm not sure if one of the guys was super drunk or if he's just enjoying the show, but there was kind of like this secret romance scene on stage where a girl releases a guy from the cage and then they kiss, and this guy that was in our group, he sits there and goes, yeah. Theater's quiet, so he goes, yeah, and then you hear me go, and so the theater echoes with him going, yeah, and my cackle.
Oh my god. I hope there's a video somewhere out there.
If anybody was in that show that was also there that night, I'm sorry that I cackled.
Please send us video.
Was it spelled Ka, like K-A, like...
I think so. I don't remember.
Okay.
I'd have to look.
My thought was if it was Ka, like C-A-W, like, is this a Cirque du Soleil show?
Ka!
Ravens?
Sorry, I was thinking of Moira Rose on Schitt's Creek. The birds have eyes.
Yes, a story for the ages.
So it's spelled K-A, Ka. It has a moving stage. I mean, for what I was awake for, is fantastic. And if anybody's listening that's a part of the show or thinks that I'm disrespectful to theater, I'm actually a huge theater person, and I love theater, but I was very, very tired from that day. But I was not going to waste that ticket. Oh, John Legend was there, and I was really sad that we didn't have time to get a ticket and go.
Oh, I would love to see John Legend. Because they weren't priced terribly. Really?
Yeah, I think the most expensive ticket was like $178.
Wow, that's really good.
Why are we not going?
I would have paid that money to see John Legend. He's incredible.
Absolutely, but by the time we kind of all gathered and was like, ooh, we didn't really have the time or the energy.
Yeah, it's like a 3-day town.
I think it depends on what activities you're aiming for in Vegas, right? Like, because you can just stay drunk the whole time, and that's an activity all in and of itself.
And that was the activity that I chose, and then added all these other activities on it, and it was exhausting.
What was your third sin, by the way? What was the third sin?
Let's see. I gambled.
Yeah.
I drank.
Uh-huh.
What else did I do?
And you cackled in a live theater.
I did. I mean, in my eyes, that's a huge sin.
Which you know is a faux pas.
Oh, I know. I felt so bad.
Went to Vegas and you didn't even get laid.
Stupid me. I literally had my own room.
You had your own room?
Myself.
You could have been...
Had everything to myself.
Yeah.
And then also, I don't know what was going on, but there were gays everywhere. Do you guys think it's time for a commercial real quick?
I think so.
Now for a word from our sponsor, Buco del Culo Casino Hotel and Spa.
Wrap yourself in warmth and luxury. Enjoy an atmosphere you'll never forget. Pull out all the stops on your next Vegas vacation at Buco del Culo. Featuring the world's second largest atrium, Buco del Culo promises to stretch to accommodate all your needs. Enjoy a mud facial at our fabulous spa. Dine at our all-you-can-eat buffet, Scroto. and immerse yourself in our heated pools, kept at a constant 98.6 degrees. So why not come inside Buco del Culo? You'll feel right at home.
Do you guys want to go to Vegas? We may need to book that.
I'm excited, actually, to go stay at Buco del Culo next time we go to Vegas.
Is that on the South Rim? It's close to the Strip.
I hear it's really all around the rim.
Oh,
You have to go down a trail first to get there.
there's a tunnel,
It's really nice when it's clean.
but otherwise it's just shit.
I mean, I'd stay in one. And now for a new segment, something to check out.
Relating to Vegas, I found this woman who her channel is called Vegas Starfish, and it's just both words mashed together: VEGAS STARFISH.
Buco del Culo is the real Vegas Starfish.
Unrelated. But yeah, she's got a great channel where she does hotel recommendations and hotel non-recommendations, which it's ironically funny because one of her videos about the 4 worst ones to stay at was the Luxor. But she does some great insider tips. She's got a full travel guide on her page. It's in her bio, and she's just very knowledgeable, and she's got a really great channel. So go check her out. I think you'll like what you see. So for today's home-crafted game, we're going to do another classic. We're going to do Would You Rather, and this is Would You Rather Vegas edition. So I'm going to give you guys some situations, and you're going to pick the one that you would rather do.
Okay.
All right. So here's our first one. Would you rather attend a Chippendale show with straight women or gay men?
I guess gay men, because you're bound to go home and do something, so I guess I'll have a better night. Unless I don't like any of those gay men.
That's a really tough question.
Then why would I go? Never mind. I'm going to stick with my answer.
Yeah, I'm definitely going with gay men over, straight women. I mean, nothing against you.
I'm going to go with the straight women because they're going to get raunchy and like really funny.
That's kind of why I'm not going to go with the straight women.
Yeah.
I imagine it's like the women from like comment sections on Facebook that are like, oh, too funny. Or like they'll get a couple of cosmopolitans in them and they'll just go crazy and like throw their bras on the stage. And I think that'd be funny.
That's what I'm trying to avoid with this. And I know that after I get a couple of drinks in me, I'm going to be in a very separate place mentally than they are.
And I'm trying to avoid the Tammy, Pamela, Lang situation where she's like, oh, hello. God knows there's always going to be that one woman that's a little uncomfortable and makes stupid jokes, which normally is me. But
that's why I thought you would choose the straight women. Okay, so here's our next one. Would you rather walk up the Strip or take an Uber?
This isn't very sexy, Joe.
They're not all. That's Vegas edition. They're not sexy.
Yeah, Vegas is sexy. There's a lot of shows.
Yeah, sure it is.
after walking the Strip so much and sweating my little ass off and having a sore hip from sashaying that hard for that long, I would still choose to walk. Because I don't know, it gives you so much of a better experience.
I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to walk the Strip because there's so much to see. There's just a lot to take in. And if you're in the Uber, you're just going by it so fast, you're going to miss everything. And you never know what you'll see on the streets of Vegas.
Jay is like 3 years away from being that old man with a walker who is chain smoking and attached at the hip to a fucking slot machine.
As I'm carrying my oxygen tank.
He's the owner of the 1995 Dodge Spirit in the parking lot. It hasn't moved since he won it back in 1995. He never paid the fees for it, so it's just been sitting in the back lot for years collecting dust.
I would definitely walk the Strip over taking an Uber. I feel like it's just faster. It's just easier to do. If it's within walking distance, just walk.
Okay, so for our next one, would you rather eat at a buffet or at an upscale restaurant for that fancy experience?
Why are none of these sexy? You can get escorts in Vegas. You can drink yourself to death. You can do cocaine there. And you're asking me about buffets or fucking restaurants?
I'm putting in content for all of our users.
This is where I'm bougie, though. I like upscale. I don't usually eat enough for buffets to make it worth it.
See, that's where you and I differ, my friend.
I like the Vegas buffets. Yeah, the one at the Luxor was huge. It was massive.
It was
You
great.
could get anything that you wanted there. And honestly, like they did a mimosa day that you could pay extra money for.
Bottomless
and
mimosas. It was great.
We didn't eat at any buffets on this trip because we already mostly had everything planned for dinners and stuff like that. We did have a couple
With a large group like
spontaneous
that.
things where we were just going to find food. But so I didn't get the opportunity to try a buffet, but I just know how my brain works that I'm leaning on that for my answer.
All things being even, I think I just picked the buffet because it's just
I picked the
easier.
buffet. Yeah. Okay, so then our next one. Would you rather stay at a hotel on the old strip, Fremont Street, or on the new strip?
New strip.
New strip.
Absolutely new strip.
After staying on the new strip the first time, I would like to check out the old strip the next time because there's like museums and other stuff to check out over there, and I think I'd want to check it out.
I mean, it's cool to go look at Fremont Street, but I think I'd much rather stay on the strip and not on Fremont Street.
Yeah, if I go back, I need to go see the old strip, but I want to stay on the new strip.
That makes sense.
Old strip is sightseeing, not staying.
Oh, okay.
If I was rating it by the availability of hot escorts, new strip.
If I was rating it by the availability of cheap escorts, old strip.
If I was rating it by the airport landing strip.
She calls herself Old Strip and she smokes like this.
She yells at traffic.
And it's going to be $5 for a Hummer.
She walks in your room. What are you gonna have?
I got the list of services of prices tattooed on my back. Just check it out there.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna turn around. You can read them as I walk into the bathroom to freshen up.
Freshen down. Do with that what you will.
They used to be higher on my back, but things sag now.
It's the opposite of inflation.
You have to lift the wrinkle to read number 5.
It's deflation.
I'm just imagining her printing you like a receipt, but it's like her boob coming out, and she just tears a piece of it off and gives it to you.
Yeah, she like it's and it just throws it at you.
It's definitely one of those old 90 printers that you have to peel the little dots off the side.
Oh,
She's like, damn it, it's a paper jam.
ew.
She's just to bring in her whole box of folded up papers.
She brings in her hole.
So-
This has gone so much further than I anticipated it going.
But you can't take this out. This has to stay. This part can't leave.
Oh, it's for sure staying out. I'm not worried about that. There was no part of me thought that when I said that, that's what it would evolve into.
Thanks, Fremont Street. Okay, this brings you to the last one. Would you rather play the card tables or the slot machines?
Slots. I don't know what I'm doing with card tables.
I don't either. I mean, I kind of do with like blackjack, but also they get all technical and then they're getting shifty and looking at me and I get all nervous and be like, I don't know.
Slot machines are easier, but I always lose my money to slot machines because I have absolutely no luck whatsoever. Like none whatsoever. I never get, you know how some people say, oh, well, you just quit while you're up. Doesn't happen to me.
What's up?
The last time we went, I said, I will gamble $200 this whole trip. And once I'm out of that $200, I'm not gambling anymore because that's as much money as I am willing to spend for pushing a button on a machine that gives me nice serotonin levels because of the lights.
Oh, speaking of, side tangent. In my opinion, the best slot machine game in all of Vegas or anywhere is the Wheel of Fortune slot machine. Have you guys ever played the Wheel of Fortune game?
Oh my gosh. One of my friends was obsessed with that.
We were obsessed with it the time we were there.
Apparently, they're the ones that you supposedly are a little easier to win on because you get the bonuses.
I loved it. It was so fun. The little wheel would spin. I'd be like, wee!
So I'm one of those people when I gamble, though, that I'm learning my slot. I don't gamble very much, but I've learned that every time
He's learning a slot.
every time I play a slot, it has to be semi-Asian themed with no pandas on it. Or I could do a lottery theme and I'll actually walk out at least ahead or even. But even then, I don't enjoy going to play slots or casino. I feel like it's such a weird risk.
I don't know what to do with this information. That you need the slots to be Asian themed.
Yep. Anything with like an Asian drum and Asian dragon does fine for me. I will not lose my money this fast.
This is spiraling.
I'd seen a picture of one somewhere called Corgi Cash, and we have a corgi, so we spent the entire trip Googling and trying to find a building that had this Corgi Cash machine so we could at least go play it once, but we didn't luck out. We never found one. Meh.
I knew someone that loves musicals and just kept playing the Little Shop of Horrors one till he was just broke.
I think if I had to like spend money because I know I'm going to lose it no matter what, I'd probably do like a poker tournament buy-in because I did that the second year I was there. I can do pretty well with poker.
Poker? I hardly know her.
Anyways, so I could do pretty well with poker, and I feel like I could spend extra time doing it. So, you know, I'm getting more time for my money, and
yeah,
you never see someone get dragged off in a casino from a slot machine. It's always from like a poker table because they've gotten involved.
That's
in
true.
Secret underground poker, and maybe that'll happen to me.
I love that for you. It was a surprise for me.
It was absolutely the surprise for me. I didn't even know I had to, and it just like,
God.
it just like fell out. I was like, oh. Do you guys want me to do user submission game real quick?
Let's do some user submitted content. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, we'll do one of our user submissions on this one. We'll do Dustin's from South Carolina, and we'll do his Bring It to Ring It he sent.
Hi, Dustin.
Hi, Dustin.
Hello, Dustin. All right, so his...
Oh, Bring It to Ring It? Okay, let me get ready.
Bring It to Ring It. Get your eyebrows down and ready. All right. A floodlight. Folding camping chairs.
Mm-hmm.
Scissors.
Oh.
Well, that was 2 for me.
Oh.
I'm trying to... I've got mine raised because I'm trying to figure out, are we burying somebody at night?
No. No, we are
not.
No,
what's going on?
If I understand Dustin's meaning behind this, we are going to cut the bottom of that folding chair out so that bits can hang.
What's the floodlight for?
So they can see you out in the woods.
You got 2 eyebrows up for me.
Yeah, 2 for me.
Yeah, so 6 eyebrows for sure.
Woo!
Because could you imagine, like, if it's a hookup and you're on one of the apps and you're just like, come out to the trees and look for the floodlight.
I'll be sitting in the camping chair with scissors.
I'll be in the camping chair that I cut out the bottom of.
I'll be in the camping chair with my eyebrows up to the skies. So we saved the best for last this week, Beardos. My mother has found us. And not only is she loving it so far, she has submitted her own Fuck, Marry, Kill. And it's pretty wild.
Thanks, Joe's mom.
I love Joe's mom so much.
Okay, so she submitted her own version of Fuck, Marry, Kill. She did some Disney characters for us, and I'm going to read this. She gave me permission wholeheartedly to read these to you guys. So, phrasing her quite literally, she said, "Am I too old to enter a suggestion that's irrelevant? At least I'm not too old to get it. Peter Pan, Aladdin, and Cruella de Vil." Now, while we formulate our answers for it, I'll go ahead and read you what she put. And she put, "Well, after much thought, I'd marry Aladdin and make him wish for 100 more wishes. I'd fuck Peter Pan because he's young and vigorous and will always be." And then she said, "Cruella kills puppies. She must die. I still adore her black and white pre-puppy coat. Her hair's cool too. There are no other good choices. That's how it shakes out for me."
Who is she gonna fuck?
Peter Pan.
Okay. So I'm actually basically right on board with her.
I'm going to go ahead and kill him because he's abducting children to come to Neverland. I don't like that. I'm going to fuck Aladdin because he's hot. I'm going to say it. He doesn't have any nipples in the movie, though, but he's hot. I want to marry Cruella because I can change her, you know?
Ew.
And I can introduce her to other things that aren't puppy fur, so I think I could steer her in the right direction.
I was going to fuck Cruella because I don't have to know about her personal life and issues, but she seems like my kind of gal with her driving. But yeah, to sum it up, I'm going to fuck Cruella, marry Aladdin, kill Peter Pan, because children steal her.
Whoa, that one cut deep.
Sorry, my brain is... I'm trying to wrap my head around this Peter Pan thing. I think... let's assume for a moment that he is old enough because he has been in Neverland long enough. Even then, I'm going to kill Peter Pan because absolutely not. I'm going to... God, this leaves really terrible choices. I guess I'm going to fuck Cruella.
But could you imagine being on like a hookup app and talking to Cruella, and then she like roars up to your house, smashes down your fence and mailbox, walks in, and she's like, "Let's get to it." And she's got her cigarette extender and her fur coat.
Oh
on.
yeah, the giant cigarette, the thing. Oh man, I forgot about that.
She's classy. She slips off her coat and she's down into like this terrible brassiere and panties, this lacy stuff.
Ew.
And she does not quit smoking through the whole thing.
I'm going to marry Aladdin because I think he could teach me how to do parkour, and we could, have a genie friend now because he's our friend, and so we get unlimited wishes. Yeah. So yeah, that's my fuck, marry, kill.
Nice.
It was it. I murdered a child. You're welcome.
I think break's over, guys.
Yeah, I think that's going to wrap up our lunch break today, Beardos.
It is time.
As I hope all of you've paid attention to, we started our challenge to find listeners from all 50 states, and we've heard back so far from 33 different states.
Thank you.
So if you're one of those people that we're amazed. If you're one of those people that we notified you and said, yeah, you got picked, keep an eye out on Instagram and Facebook because we're going to call out your name and give you a personalized post for that. So you're part of our 50 Nifty group.
And then also keep in mind, remember that Anthony and I are going to a company retreat in Minnesota in, next week?
It'll be the Labor Day weekend, right?
So, yeah, Labor Day weekend. Labor Day weekend, we'll be at our company retreat in Minnesota. So we're going to do some fun activities up there. We're hopefully going to do some recording up there, maybe record a couple of Minneapolis-themed episodes. And we are excited to bring that content to you guys as well.
So keep up the good work of talking to us.
Keep up the good work, guys. The email address is still the same, beardsandsundries@gmail.com.
Please continue sending us content. We really like to do user-submitted content. It's really fun.
Absolutely.
Keep following us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. We absolutely love it. We've started hearing so much more from you guys, and it kind of just melts our hearts how much we've gotten so much feedback lately. We've loved it a lot. If
you're a listener who's listening on iTunes, please leave us not only a rating, but also leave us a review. That actually helps us get recognized by Apple Podcasts and gets our podcast in front of more listeners. So if you enjoy the podcast, leave us a rating and a review on whatever platform that you're listening on.
Yeah, rate and review us everywhere. We love that.
We can't wait to see what you guys have to say.
If you give us a 5-star review, tell us, and we will give you a shout out.
If you leave us a review, we'll read your review on the podcast.
Yes. Unless it's a bad one, but then we may read it anyways and then laugh at you.
If it's a bad one, we'll have a whole episode about it.
Yes! And it'll be the I'm Sorry We Suck episode. But it'll be completely satire.
Well, it's been fun once again, and we will see you guys next week here at Beards and Sundries.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Yeah, episode 9.
Love you.